Alright, hey guys, welcome back to Crypto. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC. We're actually going to be talking about the BTC dominance and what type of a breakout we could be getting over the next like a few months going forward, right? Especially till Q4, right? 2023. As we said in early Q1 2023, we said the BTC dominance, regardless of what the BTC price action going to do, the BTC dominance going to be breaking out to the upside, and most of these alt will be suffering over the next like a few months. Okay, once again, it doesn't mean like alt won't go up in USD, right? Or all the alt will be down in 2023. All it means is like most of the alt won't be seeing like significant gains in USD or even like in in BTC over the next like a few months, right? So let me make sure the sound is good before we dive into the macro analysis with the BTC dominance. 589, let me know if the sound is good. We got BK in the house. So we'll take a look at BNB if we have time, right? We got Mr. Shu, thanks a lot for tuning in. All right, because I just updated my software, so hopefully the sound is good. Okay, I got 589.333 from Mr. Shu. So now what we've been saying over the last few years, guys, it's been very simple regarding the macro BTC dominance, right? Knowing what's going on with the BTC dominance most of the time can help you to detect the macro trend for BTC USDT, right? As we've been saying, September is one of September is most of the time a turning point, just like April for the BTC dominance, right? It is September. As you can see, if we go back and back test it, right? I said it multiple times, guys. I said it back in 2019, 2020, 2021, and now it is 2023. I'm just going to repeat it if you're new to the content, right? Back in September 2017, most of you guys probably were around, right? You can see what happened back in September 2017. We got a big pump, with the BTC dominance, and most of the alt, got dumped a lot till November. So back in November 2017, November, first week of November 2017, I remember exactly how alt were going crazy after being down like for so long, right? So they started to pump all the way down, pump all the way up, and the BTC dominance bottom right around like a 35-36% where we started the macro uptrend for nearly over 2.5 years, right? A year and a half actually, right? Or you can say like almost 2 years, right? From like December 2017, or like let's say January 2018, right? All the way up to January 2021. But you can take a look at these, the next September 2018. That's when we started to get our sideways correction on a monthly basis. And if you've been jumping and humping between September and April 2019, you might be like be panicking and all that good stuff. That's why most of the time I be saying like it is always good to be checking out the monthly time frame. When you check out the monthly time frame, you're not going to get any noise, and you will be able to detect, right, the big trend. You're not going to be able to I would say like you're not going to be panicking, and you're going to be able to detect the big trend, the big macro breakout, right? April right here, April 2019, we all know what happened back in April 2019, right? Regarding BTC, that's when we started to break out from 3K area, and the BTC dominance was like a 52. If you go check out any of my videos like back in March, April, or even like January 2019, I was saying like the BTC dominance will go all the way up to like a 70%, right? And guess what? That's exactly where we got our rejection at back in September 2019, around like a 71%, right? And from that point, right, that's when we started to capitulate regarding the BTC dominance, and alt started to go through a nice accumulation phase. So it is always good, right, to be buying alt on the macro level, right? Let's say 18 months to 2 years after the BTC dominance, you know, pick, you could say, or after the BTC price action pick, right? Because we picked back in December 2017, and if you've been buying alt like a September 2019, you're still good regardless of the BTC dominance, right? So you can see the macro trend line started like September 2017, you know, April 2019, we got another September 2020. And if you guys recall, back in September 2020, what I was saying was like, you know, we could be pushing to the upside, right? And right there, we got our big capitulation from the top, right? Most people think like capitulation is from the bottom, but sometimes capitulation could be from the top. And the only reason we got a monthly engulfing candle back then was like the big alt, like Ethereum, BNB, you know, the top 10 alt basically, you know, Dogecoin started to break out. Only those alt can basically reverse the BTC dominance, right? But if you're waiting for like the small cap alt, like 10 million, 3 million and all that good stuff, even if those alt goes like, even if one of those alt goes up like 100x, right, it's not going to affect the BTC dominance. So Ethereum has to be moving a lot, BNB, you know, possibly Litecoin, you know, Dogecoin, basically the top 10 alt. If they pump like a 2 to 3x, it will stop the pump from the BTC dominance, right? That's why we got the capitulation right here back in January. And if you go back, check out Ether, let's take a look at ETHERUSDT really quickly. So if you check out ETHERUSDT, January 2021, right there, we got a big pump. And if we go back to the BTC dominance, that's why we got our capitulation right here, right? And when did we bottom? Guess, September 2021, right? So from like January 2021 down to September 2021, okay, the BTC dominance was just struggling, right? And I said it right here after we hit like just about like a 39%. I was like, we're going back up to 48%, retest the you know, lows right here. Even after we retested again 48%, what we said, guys, we're most likely not going to be breaking out below the you know, 39%. Right? The reason for that was pretty simple, right? The BTC dominance back in September, October, November was at the bottom, right? And we couldn't basically be dropping, right? You don't expect like the BTC dominance to be dropping, and at the same time the BTC price action to be capitulating at the same time. So if the BTC price action is capitulating, right, the BTC dominance 9 out of 10 going to be pushing to the upside, right? So something to basically something you want to keep in mind, right, going forward. So as you can see, even right here, right, after we started to capitulate back in May, you know, May, June 20th, you know, 2021, the BTC dominance pushed back up to like a 48%. And what happened back in July 2021, let's go ahead and take a look at BTC USDT. Back in July 2021, you can see like the BTC price action was bottoming right there. Okay, bottoming right around like a 30, you know, 30K area. And I was saying like, guys, you know, don't wait for 25K. Most bears were waiting for 25K. And you can see the BTC price action was bottoming and the BTC dominance was topping out right there. Right? So September, again, once again, September 2022, another September, we bottom, the final bottom, we got it in September. So what could you expect, or what am I expecting over the next like let's say, you know, 3 to 6 months? I'm expecting the BTC dominance to continue to push to the upside, possibly even up to like a 60%. Okay, over the next like you know, 3 to 6 months, because regardless of what, you know, the BTC price action going to be doing, right, BTC USDT or BTC USD, Leroy, whichever you want, right, the BTC dominance most likely with 70% chance, right, going to be pushing to the upside. And that's why most alt, right, over the next like a few months, right, going to be suffering against BTC. Some of them going to be taking a cheap shot, going to pump like a 30, 40, 50%, not X, Leroy, but they're going to be coming back down. All right, so would be expecting the BTC dominance, you know, over the next like a 3 to 6 months, all the way up to like, you know, Q4 2023, you know, to be pushing to the upside. And that's not the first time we're saying it, guys. In early January, if you watch my BTC dominance breakout in early January, I said the BTC dominance going up to like a 50% or higher. And back then, the BTC dominance was right around like a 40%. So it's already up 20%, and BTC is up like nearly 100%. It is a good news for alt, but you got to be able to understand what's going on. You might not be panicking just because the BTC dominance is going up. Alt will suffer, but you just have to absorb it and basically be patient. If you're looking for the next like 18 to 24 months, right, alt will be, most of them, okay, will be going back up if they're still going to be around. Some of them won't make it, right? So you just have to be cautious, right? Regarding alt, right, if you go back to a 20, let's say you go back to a 2016, right, 12 months, okay, before the bull market peak, right? If we take a look at it right here, you can see the top 10, right, of this alt, the top 10 of the, you know, coin market cap, right? And, or even like the top 100, let's say the top 100, right? Because some of these top 10s are still around, like Dogecoin, Doge, Ethereum, and all that good stuff, right? Most of these alt ain't around, okay? Some of them already gone, like Peercoin is gone, BitShare is way down below like a 200. NXT next, right, is done, right? MadeSafe coin, you can go back and check it on your own, right? 90% of these alt not in the top 100. And if you really think about it, right, it was only like 12 months before the bull market peak. 12 months before the bull market peak, right? And none of them basically managed to stay in the top 50 in 2018. Okay, you know, 2 years later, right? Because we picked in, you know, 2 years later, yes, 24 months basically, right, before the bull market peak. So we just have to be very cautious, since like we're expecting a bull market peak, you know, in 2025, right, and it's already 2023, right? Most of these coins, right, let's take a look at it currently. Most of these coins, right, probably, okay, won't be around. It doesn't matter how much I love, for instance, it doesn't matter how much I love a Tron or Litecoin or like a, you know, Atom or like a, you know, who's this guy? Toncoin. It must be a new coin, right? Toncoin, whatever, right? Some of them, okay, won't be around by the time BTC is going to be hitting like 180K. Right? So you might be saying like my alt will go 100x when BTC goes up to like, you know, 180, but you know, even if they go up like 10x, 20x, if you don't take profits, they're going to dump right back down. They will not be staying like in a high volatility momentum above 100x moves and all that good stuff. All right, something to basically, you know, something you want to keep in mind over the next like a few months and all that good stuff, right? But going back to the BTC dominance, another thing I just wanted to point out is like the monthly time frame. We've been talking about the monthly 21 EMA over the last few months, right? And as I've been saying, we cannot be in a bull market, right, as long as we below the monthly 21 EMA for BTC USDT, right? Let's take a look at it. For BTC USDT, I was saying like, guys, no need to be calling for the bottom is in, because you're just not sure if the bottom going to be in. However, we know dropping 50% below the monthly 21 EMA, 9 out of 10, it is always a good buy for BTC if you're basically looking for a macro swing. So at 16 to 18K, guys, I was saying just accumulate right here. Don't worry about like, you know, price dropping like 1,000%. If it drops down to the monthly 100 SMA, yes, it'll be a good add-on around like a 14K, 13K and all that good stuff. But the 18K range down to a up to 16, down to a 16K Leroy, right, was a good accumulation range for the macro swing. Because what were we looking for? The monthly 21 EMA. We said, hey, we're not sure if the bottom is in or was in. However, once we get back above our monthly 21 EMA, close a candle above our monthly 21 EMA, we could be saying like, hey, the bear market is over. The macro downtrend is over for BTC, right? But it doesn't mean, once again, we cannot get another bear market, because most people get confused with these bear markets and all that good stuff, right? For instance, back in 2017, after we picked right here, just about like a 20K, we went through a bear market, right? We dropped nearly 83% from top to bottom, peak to trough, right? And after that, right, we got a big push to the upside all the way up to 14K, and we went through another bear market. But these two bear markets, right, are not the same. We got two different bear markets. The first one was the year 2018. The second one was the second half of 2019. So, but you cannot say like, oh, BTC was in a bear market started like since December 2017. Yes, it was in a bear market for 12 months, but we did have a bull market also after December 2018. Right? So you just have to define your horizon, right? Your time horizon. Are you looking at BTC in the short to medium term, 3 to 6 months? Or are you looking at BTC in a higher time frame, 3 to 4 years, the macro cycle? If we're looking for the macro cycle, the 4-year cycle, the bear market is in 90% probability the bear market is over. The bull market is in. Okay, the bottom is in, and we're already starting a macro bull market based on the previous 4-year cycles, right? I know most people are going to be talking about like the recession, okay, the Fed hiking rate, right, the liquidity crisis and all that good stuff, right? But BTC won't care, okay, because you got to think about it, right? Whenever we pick, we tend to get some good news, right? We tend to get some good news. Remember right here what we had, right? The Bitcoin ETF, something like that, right? I can't remember exactly, but we did have some good news around like a November 2021. Did we push to the upside all the way up to 100K? No, we didn't. We didn't, right? Right there, what we had a good news. Coinbase going public, right? Bitcoin dump, right? So right there, that was like back in June, I think like a June, July, right? That was September actually, right? September 2019. What happened right here? The BACT, right? What happened right here? December 2017, the CME, the Bitcoin futures, right? So you just got to basically filter all the noise when it comes to the bear market bottom formation, right? If you take a look at it back in December 2018, we did have a big FUD, right? The Bitcoin Cash drama. That's how we bottom right here, right? And if you're waiting for BTC to drop all the way down to $1,000, you can see sucker pump like all the way up to 14K. So you're waiting for $1,000, but sucker pumped all the way up to 14K. That's 15x difference, right? And the big crash we had back in 2020, we all know what happened, right? We crashed 50% because of the COVID crash, and most people were waiting for what, $1,500, $200 BTC and all that good stuff. We just repeated the same exact thing right here. November was right here, the FTX drama, right? Bitcoin crashed. The Luna drama, Luna going to zero, Bitcoin crashed. So all the collapses are over as of now, right? So there is no need really to be saying like Bitcoin will be going down to like $1,000. If when everything was down, Bitcoin could not retest $1,000 back in 2020, or like even 3K, I just don't know why we're going to be retesting like these lows. I could be totally wrong, okay? I'm not saying we got 100% probability, right, not to drop down to like to some new lows, whatever, okay, 14K, 13K. But all I'm saying is, based on the previous market cycles, right, we already bottomed based on the 4-year cycle. if we're going to get another bear market, it is going to be based on our current bull market, because we are in a bull market since like November. Whether you accept it or not, we are in a bull market. Okay, so we bottomed back in November 2022. Now we're pushing back up, right? In terms of Fibonacci's, we already talked about it. 32K going to be up to like 50, 50% pullback. 40K going to be all the way up to like a 0.618 pullback. And we got our quarterly resistance all the way up to mid 40s. So that's going to be a bull market, right? And it doesn't have anything to do, right, with our previous bear market. The only thing, the only thing you can say regarding the pullback right here is like these Fibonacci's, right? But beside that, right, we just have to ignore the previous downtrend and just focus on the current uptrend. And if we go through another bear market, right, we just have to use our fibs, right? Just have to use our fibs once again and look for some supports, right? For instance, if for whatever reason, okay, let's say we just go up to like a 50K level, right? Okay, just hypothetically, right? We could be looking for BTC to retest any of these fibs, right? 50%, 0.618, or even down to 0.786, depending on the volatility, or even a full retracement. I don't know, right? If it repeats the same pattern we did back in 2019, 2020, and all that good stuff, we could be doing the same thing. But it might not be time yet to be talking about like BTC coming back down to 15K, 16K. It is time to focus on the bull market, because we are in a bull market, whether you like it or not. Because you might be thinking like, oh, we're not going to be in a bull market until we break out above like all-time high. But we are in a bull market. Your bull market, right, starts after you put in your your lowest price and start to make what? High lows and high highs, right? On a monthly basis, the highs are getting higher. The highs are getting higher. So we could be pushing all the way up to 50K, right? If we break out above like a 0.618. But as long as we stay above our weekly 21 EMA, we could just say the trend is up and basically just stay with the macro trend and wait for BTC to get rejected sometime in sometime in the second half of 2023, right? So, and we've been saying it over the last few months, since like January, first week of January, after we broke out above 20K. I said, guys, if we retest the 6 hour 21, it might be time to be getting in. If you did not basically buy in the dips, right, around like a 16 to 18K, buy the dips around the 6 hour 21, and just be patient, right? We could get some pullbacks and all that good stuff, but on the macro level, you just have to be patient for the next like a 6 month, right? 5 to 6 months till May, June, and all that good stuff. All right. So now let's go back to the lower degree regarding the BTC dominance. If we take a look at it on the lower degree, you can see like we got a nice, upward sloping, right? Positive slope in terms of support on our RSI. MACD on the 3D, it is still positive. Price action way above the 3D 21. Yes, we at resistance, but no sign of rejection yet, and it could blast off through the through the resistance area and push all the way up to like a 53% and all that good stuff. Possibly even like a 60%. But for 60%, we might go back to the monthly time frame, right? To see what's going on right here around 60%, around like a 0.618. Right? So the lower degree, the 3D looks pretty juicy. You can see like the bullish pattern we created right here, the flat correction. BTC loves flat corrections, right? And if you can spot these flat corrections, right? Let's do this guy. And if you can spot these flat corrections, right, you can easily spot the trend, right? Double top, double bottom, continuation to the upside. Got the same flat correction again on the lower degree right here. Double top, double bottom, and now it is pushing to the upside, right? So let's do this. So created the same exact flat correction right there, right? So same exact one right here. Now it is pushing to the upside. You could basically use your fibs and all that good stuff to anticipate the extensions and all that good stuff, but I think like the macro fibs are good enough as of now, right? So I think that is it. That's all I wanted to cover regarding BTC and the BTC price action. Most alt likely to be suffering over the next like 3 to 6 months. It doesn't matter if BTC goes up or if BTC gets rejected and all that good stuff. The BTC dominance most likely going to be dominating the the most part for the most part it will be dominating the 2023 cycle and all that good stuff, right? So let me take a look at the chat room. Hey, what's up, Hank? Thanks a lot for tuning in. So BK wanted to talk about BNB. Before we talk about BNB, let's take a look at Ether BTC chart. So if we take a look at Ether BTC chart, it is extremely bearish on the monthly basis, right? It's been like over nearly 2 years we cannot break out above the 0.08 0.09 range, and now we below our monthly 21 EMA. And I've been saying it, if you break out below your monthly 21 EMA after a multi-month of consolidation above it, you're most likely going to be dropping down to your next support. So Ether closed again below the monthly 21, and if we take a look at the MACD, it doesn't look that good on the monthly basis. Right, MACD is making lower highs. Right, and you take a look at RSI getting a massive resistance trend line. Okay. So you take a look at the RSI once again, right? Getting a big trend line resistance right here, cannot break out above it. So since like when? Since like June, guys, almost like 2 years of consolidation. Even though Ether was doing well in USD, could not break out below 1,000 more than a month, right? It goes there for a week and bounce back up above $1,000 and all that good stuff. But the Ether BTC chart is suffering. Right, so you can take a look at it right here. When did we started to break out against BTC? That was like January 2021. So we could be retesting at least the macro trend line right here, and we will see if bulls or buyers going to be showing up, right, and accumulate Ether at 5%. If not, it could drop all the way down before the end of the bear market. I mean the bear market for Ether, right, not BTC, right? Before the end of the bear market, could drop all the way down to like a 3 to 4%, depending on the volatility. But first support, the trend line right here, just about like a 5% range, or even down to the 382 Fibonacci, right, at 0.045. So if we take a look at BNB BTC, it is doing the same thing. It is basically breaking out below its monthly 21 support around like 0.7% right there. On a monthly basis. Okay, the previous all-time high all the way down to like a 0.4%. So, but it could take a while to get there. So we'll see how the monthly 50 going to be supporting the price at 0.0078. All right, MACD is negative. You already got your divergence on the monthly basis regarding your RSI. So I'm not talking about like on the lower degree, because these guys on the lower degree, 15-second charts, 1-second charts, and all that good stuff, they can do something crazy. But on the monthly basis, the trend, it is still down until you get a complete reversal. So could we get a support right here, do something like that, get a head and shoulder? Most people are going to think like we're going down and this guy push back up to a new all-time high. That is possible. Okay, we could also get a head and shoulder and still, you know, dump to the downside. That is also possible. So we just have to wait and see over the next like a few months how buy is going to be reacting once we hit you know, just about like a 7% to a 8.7% to a 0.8% range right there, right? So not looking good. If you want to be extremely bearish, you could be looking for to draw a macro trend line support like that, right? And basically say, oops, we got our macro trend line support right here. If we retest it, and you could be looking for another reversal. That is also possible, right? But I'm just speculating. We will see what we're going to get over the next like a you know, over the next like a few months. It could take like 2 quarters or even like 3 quarters before this guy get the complete bottom. Because you got to remember one thing, okay? This guy did not break out until BTC, you know, took out all-time high. Yes, it made a new all-time high back in 2019 when BTC was pushing to the upside, right? Remember, BTC bottomed back in December 2018, and this guy also bottomed in BTC back in December 2018 and put in a new all-time high around like 0.48%, right? But after that, you know, it started to dump, right? From like April 2019 when BTC started to push to the upside, right? It started to dump all the way down to like January 2021, right? So nearly 2 years, okay? Nearly 2 years of a downtrend. So we just don't know how long this one's gonna take. But I don't think it will take like 2 years, right? Think about it. Right here, BTC bottomed and started to break out to the upside. November. That's November 2022, right? Leroy, not 2021, right? What do we have right here? March, April 2021. 2019, guys. Leroy. I think that was April, right? Yeah, April, not March. So back in April 2019, BTC started to break out to the upside, and BNB, you know, was suffering. Okay, it was dumping all the way down to like a point, you know, 0.12, right? 0.12%, right? Right here, we started to break out like back in November also, right? So it could be doing the same thing and wait for BTC to break out above all-time high before we, you know, go ahead and put in a new all-time high again against BTC. Right, so but I'm talking about on the macro level, not on the 15-second chart, or not even on the weekly basis, right? It could take like a 6 to 9 month or even 12 months before we find a complete bottom, right? All right, guys, so I'm just gonna cut it short. That's all I wanted to cover today. Thanks a lot for watching. Be safe out there.